that huge vestibule and this huge vestibule. Hello, Steve. Oh, okay. And apparently those did that, or an animal grabbed them and hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is kind of one of those sneak peek behind the scenes while I'm out camping, just to show the other side of the camping trip. So this trip is actually really interesting because I am in the exact same location that I was at, pitched using the same rocks, different tent, totally different tent, different sleeping pad, different sleeping bag. But I'm just gonna stand up on this rock here. Same location that I came to back in the summertime. I believe I was here with a Green Nature Hike Cloud Up 2 tent. Pretty sure, and I think it rained on that adventure. So I wanted to come back in this exact same location because this time of year, if you guys can see, all this bush back here is fire red, which is awesome. It is super foggy. It is the next morning, I should mention. It is very, very foggy out right now. And got Boomer right here. Boomer's been perched up on this rock. Take a look at this first of all before I explain this. So here's Boomer doing his morning perch on the rock routine. He looks like a wet Gandalf. His beard is totally soaking wet. Sir, you are wet. Do you need your hood off? I don't think you could hear anything. There, try that. Is that better? Do you want to go home? We got to get packed up first, okay? All right, you just watch out for the eagles. Okay, so Boomer's doing his thing up there. He likes to perch in rocks and, you know, get a lay of the land. So I'm pitched in the exact same location. Now this spot is all glacier rock. If you guys can see around me, there is nothing but rolling hills, trees, a tent, and a camera. Somewhere back there. But this location with this particular tent is a bit challenging because you can't get tent pegs in the ground on rock, obviously. So I've had to go around the area and use these rocks. Now, I came back to this location with this tent knowing this area was going to be totally red, knowing it was going to be rainy and foggy, and knowing that these rocks were already here because I was here camping in the summertime. So it made everything very, very simple. I just wanted to get out. I wanted to enjoy some moisture, some fog, and get this tent set up in an area that I'm familiar with and have a really great time. And I gotta say, this was awesome. So check out this tent. All right, so like I said, I'm filming, or just finished filming, a video for my other channel with that guy over there. See Steven? Steven's my three-legged friend. So this is the Nortent Lie 1 tent. This thing is absolutely incredible. So this is available in a 1, a 2, and a 3-person model. Yes, I have all 3. This right now is the 1-person model, and it is incredible. It has a very, very large vestibule. So the sleeping area is from that pole to that pole. So that is the width of the sleeping area, and you sleep this way, not this way. So that means that huge vestibule and this huge vestibule is wide open for cooking, gear storage, all kinds of stuff, as you guys can see I've got going on right now. This vestibule door is nice and wide. You guys can get a good look in there. Bright yellow tent. It's a little bit of a mess in there because I just woke up not long ago. I'm just getting ready to pack up all my coffee supplies and basically get on the trail, but this thing held up so good last night. It got windy, it got rainy, and I've got to say, that thing is a champ. It's guyed down with only rocks. It could use some guy outs there, and also these to pull the sides out, but with it not being staked to the ground, this thing was absolute champ. Boss tent. So I like doing these videos behind the scenes just to give you guys a little bit of context as to where I'm at, what I'm doing, how I feel about the gear, because in Lone Wolf 902 on my other channel, I don't usually do a lot of talking about the gear. I try to incorporate it somewhat if I can, if I have enough time. But at the end of the day, that is a film cinematic channel. It's not a gear channel. And on this channel, I like to roll a little bit of everything in here. So this is not about the tent, but I will touch on one thing that I forgot to show in my other channel is the third door. So the door on the other side, which you guys just saw, opens up. That is also identical on this side with another feature. So check this out. So coming into the opposite side, like I said, this long zipper down here also unzips that flap just like the other side. However, they've added another little door on this side with this nice little kind of elastic piece of material. So this stays down over the zipper so no snow or rain blows up in it. But they've included a tiny door on this side. So if you want to open the tent in a windy situation, you can open just the side and leave that shut. Now, that being said, you can also unzip the other side and roll the entire door back because it has these loops here to toggle. This entire doorway can roll all the way up onto that pole and just have the yellow interior exposed. I've also got the ground sheet underneath the tent. However, I did not bother pulling it into the vestibule area because it's hard rock and I don't want to ruin it. So I just folded it underneath the sleeping area, giving me more protection for my sleeping pad, which I do not want damaged. So I thought that was a very cool third door in windy situations and whatnot. So like I said, just getting ready to pack up. Last night it got windy, it got rainy. It's a little damp out here. I was out late in the fog and yeah, definitely awesome. My down jacket is getting a little damp right now. I do have a rain jacket with me. I might put it on when I hike out, but realistically, once I start hiking with all that stuff in the pack, I'm gonna work up a sweat, most likely just gonna be shedding a layer anyways. But before I do that, let's go take a walk over here and let me show you guys the scenery at what I'm looking at. I'll start on the other side of the tent, give you guys a full walkthrough, and you guys can really get an idea of the landscape out here. All right, so starting on the approach coming up towards the tent. Beautiful, nice and red and fall colors out here. Hello, Steve. Coming all the way through here, there was Boomer. So if you guys caught the last episode, well, first of all, let's go this way. If you guys caught the last episode, when I was hiking out here in this location and I ended up tripping and falling, it's actually just over here. We're gonna walk right past that in just a moment. So this is one area of a look off. And you know what? I never even thought, well, I guess it's kind of on a slant. This area here looks gorgeous for a tent, but it is actually sloped down really hard. So maybe that would not have worked out. You guys can get an idea of that. We'll come back this way and you guys could probably make out the tent is right there, like right behind that tree. So we're gonna come over this way. And the last time I fell, man, I really wrecked myself. I was okay, I didn't get hurt, but like, man, I hit the ground pretty hard. And the reason I don't walk around here too much at nighttime is because of this. So I'll bring you guys down this somewhat of a trail. And this entire area used to be an ancient glacier. So all this rock is like glacier rock. Well, there's still deep crevasses and holes that you could fall in, such as that one right there. And this is what I fell in last time. I was fully loaded, backpack on, and my foot, give you guys a little bit of a shot here, slipped into that hole right down to my knee and flopped right here on my face. That was great. Loved it. The danger with that is I could have broke my knee or my leg, realistically. And yeah, I would have been stuck. So that didn't happen. So whenever I'm out here, I try and stay on the rock as much as possible, just to not fall. So coming over here gives us a really good look at the land. And there is a spot over here that I may hike out to in a future video if you guys are interested. I'm thinking up on top of this rock plateau. It looks pretty epic, especially right now with everything red. It is a lot higher than it looks, guys. So that's the thing with this landscape. It's very, very deceiving. So just approaching the rock here. Here's a classic Nova Scotia leg breaker, essentially. Looking at this landscape, it looks nice and like, oh, it's smooth. You know, you can just walk right out there. No, you can't. So this stuff dips down. Right now, I'm looking at a hole that would put this rock ledge right here about 4 feet over my head. Check this out and just look at this from a first person view because it looks like it's normal ground. It drops so far down there. Take a look at this. So right here, guys, this looks like normal ground, right? It's really not. This goes so far down there to the bottom of that tree. It's not even funny. So I'm gonna have to get up. I see Boomer's already up there. Basically, I could scale right up that side right there, but there is a nice little crack here in this rock. So I'm just gonna dig my feet in there and basically climb up. Oh, okay. All right, so, I mean, I guess I could get a one-person tent. Oh yeah, I can get a one-person tent right there. That's interesting. Okay, so coming up here, it's actually kind of, well, first of all, let me show you guys what it looks like because it is actually cool. I can see the tent from here. It's right behind the camera. I'll give you guys a look at what it looks like up here and then I'll explain what I'm thinking. So, coming up here, this is what we're looking at for landscape. I know it's pretty difficult to make it right now with all the fog, but believe me, this valley dips down and then goes right back up into rolling hills. Absolutely incredible when there's no fog. But right now, I was hoping that this was flat enough for a one-person tent, and it is, but it's really difficult to film when you're 6 feet lower on one side pointing over. You'd be filming the sky the whole time. So that doesn't work for me, and it is on a little bit of a slant. Coming over here, this entire rock is on a slant, like that's all downhill. That's a no-go. However, this right here, that light patch of moss is just big enough to put a one-person tent and have a little bit of a scenery. I don't really think it's worth it. I don't know. This is kind of what I do when I'm out camping, filming, and you know, checking out new spots. So here's another crevasse right here. Doesn't look like much, but as you guys can see, it is a long ways down. And even over here, I mean, that's about 8 to 10 feet deep, way down in that crack, all the way off that rock. There's this little patch of ground here. I'm not going to trust it. I'm just going to jump across. And yeah, you guys can get a little bit of an idea of maybe how high this is. It's very, very deceiving. That is about 15 to 20 feet down on that side. This side is, you know, probably about 10 to 12, working our way up towards the ground. So this terrain's extremely, extremely dangerous, especially right now with all this lichen on the rocks. It makes it very slippery, but can you really blame me for taking a look? I mean, right now the mood is absolutely incredible. The vibe out here, this is my kind of landscape, nice cloudy, moist days like this. So inching our way out here, testing our luck. Don't fall and slip, or slip and fall, I should say. So this is awesome. The ground down here is just fire red, looking into this moody, misty valley. And I should point out, guys, this tree, I'm at the very top of this tree. I mean, I'm standing level with these treetops. The trunk of that tree is about the diameter of my thigh. That should give you an idea of how high this is. We are easily 20, 25 feet up. Very tall. So the landscape is very deceiving on depth and height. So taking a look around here, not really seeing a whole lot. I thought I was seeing a lot, but I'm not really seeing a lot for tent situations, which is pretty typical in this location. I mean, for filming anyways, if I were out here hiking and needed to throw a tent down and camp, I would just throw it in the bush, in the shrubs, whatever, do what I gotta do. But for filming, it's a whole different thing because it's all for the camera. It's not for me or for comfort. It's all for filming purposes. So sometimes looking for locations can be tricky. And I sometimes do day hikes and come out and look for areas, but generally most of the time when I'm out hiking and camping and filming, I do what I'm doing right now. I stop and I just look at in the area, like way up here. I don't know if it's picking up right now on camera, but there is a hill way up there in the fog. Absolute gem, 1,000 spots up there to camp. No problem at all. But I like being down here in the thick and the nasty stuff. The rolling hills, I mean, once you're up on a hill, I gotta jump over. Ugh. Once you're up on top of a hill, you're only getting one view, and that's off the hill. Being down here in the sticks, in the valleys, I feel like I'm in it. I'm in the action, and that's where I want to be. I don't want to be up top looking down or down looking up. That's silly. I want to be in the action. I know a lot of people ask, hey, why don't you just go hide in the tree line? Why don't you go hide in the forest? I want to be in the action. I am the guy that is in that photograph that everyone looks at and says, I want to go camping. That looks awesome. That's me. So yeah, awesome location. I'm going to jump down off this rock now. And Boomer just fell. I'm gonna jump down off this rock and make my way back over to the tent. Oh, there's a hole. Boing, boing, boing. There he goes. Got his hood on and everything. So this is the exact walk that I did coming down this rock trail when I fell. And here it is right here. So it looks like nothing, but as you get right up close on this, it's a long ways down. So I was actually filming on the DJI Pocket 3 when I ended up falling down there. And I thought I was recording a clip at the very end where I said, geez, if anyone's wondering about the durability of the Pocket 3, it's excellent. I wasn't actually filming. The reason why I said that is because I fell right on the camera. All my body weight on top of it, and the thing's still working like a champ. So right now I'm on the Action 4 from DJI. And we've got Steve over there just itching to go to work. He's ready. He's always ready. So yeah, that's about it. I've got a couple pieces of, well, actually I just saw this blew out of the tent last night. Whew, don't want to leave that laying around. So these are some food wrappers that I've got to play. Oh, there's some slugs in there already. These are food wrappers that I got to put in a Ziploc bag and bring with me. I'll place them underneath this rock just for now. They blew out of the tent. That's the only issue that I found last night. It got windy. The air gap underneath, some of the things can blow out, and apparently those did. That or an animal grabbed them and tried to eat them. So that is basically it. I did give a full gear look in my other channel. So if you guys are interested in learning more about the gear that I brought with me, this exact video on my other channel, if I remember, I'll put the link in the description. I did go over a full in-depth gear walkthrough while I was camping. So if you guys are interested in anything here, check that video. Everything's in there. Boomer's itching. He's ready to go. I still have to film and finish the other video, get this tent packed up. I'm out of breath. I'm working up a sweat right now. It's actually getting warm, or I'm getting warm. This toque down jacket. Yeah, hiking out of here is going to be a wet, sticky mess. So thank you for joining me. Very simple video. If you guys have any questions, drop them down below, and I'll see you in the next one.